This short screencast is just going to go through how to convert a web page into a resource in any kind of activity. So first of all, you need to start off with a web page on your course page. So for instance, here is a web page that I've created, which has got some video in it, it's got some information, and then it's got a task the students need to do. It's also got a link to a separate file and that kind of stuff. So what I want to do is I want to turn this, instead of having just a static web page, getting it to be a submission, for instance, that the students answer these questions online. So what I'm going to do is click Update the Resource, and I'm actually going to copy the HTML. So this is my whole web page ready to go. I click this HTML button, I Control Select All, so I can do that, and I right click and I copy all that HTML out of this particular activity. Once I've done that, I can go back to my Moodle course. So I've got all that HTML copied. So I'll go down to where I was. I'm going to go to this particular topic and I'm going to turn editing on. From here, I'm going to actually create my activity. So now, instead of a web page, I'm an activity, and I might, for instance, ask them to do some online text. I'm going to say friction questions. And what I'm going to do is, in the description part of the friction questions assessment, I'm going to click on the HTML link and I'm going to paste all that same HTML and click the update. And what that'll do is it actually puts in all of that other work that I already done into that description section. I'm going to choose how much I want this particular task to be graded out of. I'll choose 4. I'm going to unselect these two because I don't really care when it's due. And I might put it into a grade category like lifting devices or transport. So let me find transport, there we go. And I'm going to click Save and Display. And what you should see is an exact replica of your previous web page. So there's my previous web page, except at the bottom there's now a button for Edit My Submission. So now, instead of saying follow your teacher's instructions, create a set of class notes and put that in a separate Word document, my students can now click the Edit My Submission. They can read, they can play the videos and that kind of stuff. But then they can also, for instance, copy the work, paste it in here, put a description for each of these different terms in, and then they can click Save. And what it'll do is it'll put a response in for each student's responses, and you as a teacher now can also click on the attempts, and for each student in that class you can grade them and you can give them comments based on their work. So this is a very simple and quick way to create an activity which used to just be a static web page. Finally, of course, you'll want to probably delete that particular web page and then move this particular activity up to and replace, where was it, Introduction to Friction, click it over there and replace it and tab it across as you would normally do with most of your other things. I could now go and delete that one, which I won't. I hope you found this useful.